Hello everybody, NGS here and welcome back to Atelier Ryza, episode 9, in which... I don't know. In which Ryza will probably go through another trial in order to become Claudia's friend, because that's been the overarching plot so far, and of course the sub arc to show boss who's boss. So either of those two things could happen. I guess we could also deal with Lent's father, but that kind of seems like maybe the finale. Even I'm not sure, honestly. But yeah, in the last episode, Ryza and the gang, but mostly Ryza, cleaned up some sort of a town square in their little town from all sorts of various debris, and that was basically it. Now, sure, it was meaningful, right? Because Ryza gained recognition from the entire town. She possibly even gained a little bit of recognition from Boss himself, although he would never admit that, of course. And she got some recognition from Claudia's father, although, again, I'm not sure if she actually needed the recognition from him. I strongly suspect that he recommended Ryza for this job because he knew beforehand that she will manage, and that doing so will spread the news about her abilities throughout the city. It was kind of a tsundere move, right? Telling Ryza to do something under the pretense of it being a trial, if Ryza wants to be friends with his daughter, but in reality he probably has nothing against that friendship, but just wanted Ryza to do something for the wider audience, something with a wider audience, something that doesn't just help a single villager, but rather something that everybody in the town can see and appreciate. And yeah, that's essentially it. We did some cleanup, we got some recognition. Boss got pissed because Boss is being Boss, of course, and I really hope he will be shown who is actually the boss around here. Kind of hard to squeeze that into 12 episodes, though. I can see that Ryza no Atelier has 12 episodes, so not even 13, not 2 cores or anything of the sort. With this current episode, we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 episodes left, and plenty of material to squeeze in. So I wonder if this show is going to be a tease for the game, essentially, kind of like Tact Op Destiny was a tease for Tact Op Symphony, right? Tact Op Destiny asked so many questions, created so many mysteries, and if you want answers to them, play the game. I am playing the game. Well played, I am playing Tact Op Symphony. You achieved your goal, but still doesn't change the fact that the story itself, the anime itself rather, wasn't fully self-contained, and it was mostly a tease for the non-anime material that exists. Okay, regardless of that, I guess the only way we get to learn about what's gonna happen in the anime, are we going to cover all of those things? Are we not going to? What are we going to cover? What will be the grand finale? To do that, to know that all, of course, we need to watch the current episode, right? And to do that, you will, of course, need your subs to follow along with me. I'm going to need my sound, to hear what's going on. And I'm gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs nothing, helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching episode 9 of Ryza and Atelier in 3, 2, 1, go. Is Claudia playing for everybody? No, another concert for Ryza alone. Okay, so it wasn't like the second concert even. Wait, did I like skip an episode? No. Yeah, I was wondering if I skipped an episode or something, because this seems kind of like Claudia and Ryza are friends now. So Claudia's father has nothing against it, right? Ooh, a castle. Are you tracking the monsters? Interesting. So the monsters come from like way up north, and they are dangerous to the point where a special building, special castle was raised to defend from their attacks. Okay, interesting. Also, does Ryza just live at her hideout now? There's a bed and everything. Did she move out of her parents' house? Continuing the topic of anime based on games, I started watching Magia Record, and I learned that it's based on a gacha. I mean, I knew that a Madoka Magica gacha exists, but I thought it came after the spin-off anime. Like, the game was made based on the spin-off, and not the spin-off based on the game. But it seems I was mistaken. And this is another anime this season that is based on a game. I wonder how much each of them will withhold with that. Play the game. Come, play the game to know more. The final test. Okay, so the crystal she got from Empel can create the effects of alchemical items via her staff? Is that how it works? Like, she doesn't need to throw a freeze bomb, she can just freeze using the staff? Yeah, okay. You could use some armor. Then again, not like land has an awful lot of armor in the first place, so I guess it's one of the worlds where armor doesn't matter. Oh, hell yeah! Two birds with one stone. Yeah, I like it as well. You can get a friend and beat boss to a pulp. Win-win. Is the jewel... Okay, a race. Okay, how does Boss plan to deal with the monsters? He doesn't even seem to have a sword. Yeah, I wanna see you fight. Yeah. Wait for what? As you hunt monsters by hurling insults at them? Can you do anything but talk, boss? You got any, like, speed potions or something, maybe? That would come in useful. Flying hat, I don't know, something, anything. Outrun them. It's just slimes. Just follow the road. Those monsters are... I guess they are on the road, but you can bypass them easily. Exactly. Ruins. That's what I like. Oh, a strong monster. Uh, is it like the one that attacked them in like episode 1 or 2 ish? Mm-hmm. It's a fairy or whatever. Different color though. Dude, your sword barely exists right now. You really should get a new one or ask Ryza to fix it. Okay, one hit kill. Can't you alchemize a plank to put underneath the wheel? Also, amazing camera work as always. What is that? A piece of paper? Oh no, a bag with some goods. Um, the competition is about like being the fastest, so maybe don't rest any more than you need to. Then again, I guess the merchant can vouch for them if need be. Exactly. You're strapped for time, so maybe don't run after every monster you notice. Oh, like a griffin stop or something? Did people of the past use griffins and shit to travel? Also, I just raised the gamma of my camera and it's still super dark. Oh well, you're gonna have to deal with it. Yeah. Okay, so they set off later and had a break and helped the dude on their way, and they were still faster than boss. I mean, of course, they already did. It already did happen. None of them except the assigned guard has any weapon. I mean, no wonder they're moving so slowly. On the fucking door? I know you're a muscle head, but oh, okay. So there be dragons. Okay, the plot thickens. Or the world building, at least. Okay. Oh, is that a safe flower? The one that chases off monsters? Demons. Or dragons. Dragon? Dragon. There we go. I did not expect a wyvern. I did not expect a wyvern to appear this quickly. This is like a finale tier. Oh, rest spot for the winged. For the wyverns. Okay, not whatchamacallit, griffins or whatever I thought it might be, for wyverns. And why can't you? Save the guard, maybe save Lambar. Boss, I mean, he wanted it. You reap what you sow and all that. Lure it how? With yourself? With bombs. Okay. Also, is it just me? Or is art, like, exceptionally wonky in this episode? Plenty of, like, you know, squiggled, weird, contorted faces all around. Okay, her stronger bombs, the ones she used for demolition. Not quite strong enough, though. Just swatted it away. Okay. It was being controlled by the stone somehow. Color me curious. Okay. Tao activated it. It drew in the dragon. The dragon was assigned to like protect the territory or something. Okay. Okay. Did you check the pulse? Do you still have some of your ointment? Called for Empel? Yeah, exactly. Don't be worried. Oh, friends to enemies? I guess so. What happened to Boss then that made him such a dick? Why are they in a coma then? I mean, he was facing a wyvern, so he probably wasn't prepared to do that. How could you know that there's gonna be a fucking wyvern? Yeah. I wouldn't say they got close. Has Boss even woken up? Okay, there we go. You are officially worthy of Claudia. And unrest is starting. And that is not good for business. Now that's the much more realistic danger. Yeah, basically. Probably not. I mean, that dragon had you beat. Your bombs were nothing. Of course. We have the Doomsayers. Of course, it's the outs. Ah. Of course, it's the outsiders who brought the dragon. Who else? You're not even like your first thought wasn't, oh, thank fuck I'm alive. Your first thought was, ah, fuck, Ryza saved me. She should have left me for death. Now I have to be grateful to her. I hate being grateful. Uh, I mean, try it and see. No, you're not moving anywhere. I'm going to. Or, okay, not. Okay, she's being sensible. That's good. That's good. I was afraid she's gonna just jump into action, but no. Probably. Yep. Yep. And you activated it, Tao. It's a touch screen. Oh, okay, or that. Interesting. Okay, so everything is like everything boils down to that monster. Yeah, that should solve most problems. They sure did. I mean, what else can you do at this point, really? The only thing you can do right now is the thing you already decided to do. That is, prepare yourself in case something happens. And I think this is the best course of action. Sure, make some stronger bombs in case the dragon gets closer to the city and you have no choice but to fight. Right? Fix Lent's sword. That's another thing you can do. I know. Make some exploding arrows for Claudia. Stuff like that. Okay, so we have. I guess we completed two plot lines and we have one more introduced. Okay, that's a good trade. We are slowly like reducing the amount of them. Chasing down the hunting party. So is Empel and Lila gonna get lost somehow and Ryza will need to save them? Possibly. Uh-huh. Okay. That's a possibility, but what is a certainty is that we will watch this episode again. Shall we? Yes, we shall. Still playing for Ryza, and Ryza alone, multiple times already. That's interesting because it shows us a little bit of a time skip that happened, right? Also, this seems like a full-on bedroom. There's a bed, there's the cauldron. Does Ryza like slowly moving in? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. And of course, Sigh in front of everybody else. And just right away, just Empel walks in and talks about the monster, having to hunt it and whatnot. No hello, no sup, no nothing, just hey yo, this is a map. And it's not even like he's talking to Ryza, he just laid it down on the table and it is talking with Leela, if with anybody at all, if not just talking at himself. I don't know, it's odd. Also, very bionicle world map. We have the forest where Liwa lives. We have the rock area with Pohatu. There's the ice area. That's where Kopaka is, right? Not a realistic map whatsoever. The half of this map being missing is intriguing. What did they say? What was to the west? What was to the east? Demons to the east, dragons to the west? I don't know, because it's the... Oh, sorry, it's late. It's the western side of the map that is missing. Should be heading deeper, but it isn't. It's heading towards here, past some sort of a castle that was supposed to protect these lands from that monster, but didn't really do a good job. Probably because it's a ruin by now, unmanned by anybody. And yeah, that was one of the fairies, except recolored. They're doing well in a fight. Putting the gem inside of the staff, probably a good choice. Seeing how Ryza carries that stuff everywhere with her. Although I would say making it a pendant would be a better choice. It's easier to have a pendant on you at all times. It's easier to have it concealed, to grab it, to stow it in a pocket or somewhere, than to do that with a staff. But I don't think that's a consideration. Pentanite. Okay, and all sorts of other crystals and shit. Lance moves are getting smoother, indeed. Tao is helpful in combat. That's new. And of course, Ryza, who can now invoke the power of the items she makes. Initially, I thought that the power of this crystal, of the score crystal, is that it can synthesize items out of nothing, right? If you synthesized blessed ointment once and you fed it to the crystal, now you can just spam blessed ointment, blessed ointment, blessed ointment, and spawn jars of blessed ointment out of thin air. But no, it just replicates the effect. So, assuming you were to feed blessed ointment to it, you would have what amounts to a healing spell embedded in the crystal. Interesting. Interesting because it means you cannot exactly use all of the items with it, right? If there are items that don't really have an effect, but rather their very existence is the effect, it wouldn't really work with the core crystal, right? If you were to alchemize a sword, for example, it wouldn't really work. Unless you can invoke that sword and slashes appear on your enemy because the crystal now has the traits of the sword and sword slashes, so now swings of the crystal also slash through thin air. I don't know, I'm not sure how it works fully. Too dangerous to use unless I've learned how to use the original item properly. Good, good. Ryza is becoming more and more conscious of her own strengths and of the danger they bring. I like it. She's actually growing as a character. And of course, Taho is as well. Final challenge, and you're going against boss. This was a really fucking stupid idea on boss's behalf, on boss's part. Sure, it's a race. Sure, you're gonna be going by the through the road that's decently safe, I'd assume. But still, you'd think Boss and Lambar would have some weapon. If not Boss, because he's simply too good to be carrying a vulgar item like a weapon, then you'd expect at least Lambar to carry a sword or a mace or a fucking stick with him or something, anything. But it seems like no, they just have a town guard with them. And the town guard is the one and only person on their team who can do any sort of damage. I keep wondering what the fuck is Boss's deal? And I have no clue. They had some sort of a falling out during childhood. Ryza was always the better one and Lambar was always the worst one, so now he has the need to prove himself. I know, that's about the only thing that comes to my mind. Also, art being wonky in this episode, right? You see the distance between his eyes and his mouth here. You see the distance here, right? There are other examples like that with the face being kind of skewed, kind of like wonky mouth or incorrect proportions. And I'm not even talking about in-betweens. I'm talking about like full-on proper frames. I wonder why. Are they running out of budget or something? I'm not sure. Big monsters. It's just slime, so we can go around them. Ruins. Fucking love ruins. Guarded by a fairy who is really not a challenge for Lent. Which is interesting. Because fairies were such an enormous danger in episode 1. Right? They were inconceivable. They needed help from Empel to survive. This time around, swish swoosh, and it's done. I like... I'm not sure if I should say anything about it, about Lent's sword. It looks more and more beaten down episode to episode. But I don't know if I should praise it as an attention to detail that Lent keeps using it, keeps fighting with it, so it gets more and more destroyed with time. Or is it just an inconsistency in the show where sometimes it's more beaten up, sometimes it's less beaten up? I think it's the former. Why would you strike with the flat side, though? Also, the flats... Why? Why'd you do that, Lent? Or was it even the backside of the sword? I don't know. You got some donuts or something floating in the bag. What? Yeah, let's rest up. And you fucked up. You activated the trap card. I wonder what was the purpose of this ruin, and what was the original purpose of this rest spot for the winged. My mind immediately went in the direction of perhaps the humans of old tamed griffins or wyverns or something, and they used them for transportation. So this was essentially a garage. Whenever someone would arrive to the castle, they would leave their griffin here, or maybe it was like a midpoint checkpoint or something on a road from one city to another, and the griffins needed some rest. So this was a castle built specifically for those griffins to rest for the riders to get something to drink, something to eat, maybe stay for the night. Essentially a tavern suited for winged transport beasts. That was my first thought. And who knows if it's not true? I'm not sure. And of course, I mean, is it any surprise that Boss and Lambar are late? They only have one guy with a sword, so of course they would take longer. Why is Boss even surprised? Oh, I really just don't like Boss. I really just don't care much about him. Right? Like, if I were Ryza and Lent and Tao, I would just ignore him. Just let him talk and just, you know, he's the kind who thrives on attention, who needs to walk up to you and be like, haha, you're bad, I'm good. Haha, why are you ignoring me? I'm the better one, I'm the better one. Right? He really seems the kind. Oh well, whatever. This must be the hut. The hut is also protected with the flower, like their little hideout in the forest, which tells me there might be like a network of rest spots for travelers like that. Huts like this one and that one, protected with a flower where you can safely stay the night, safe from any sort of monsters. Where's the warning? On the door. Like they told you. They said it's gonna be on the door. Travelers heading south must never leave the highway. Devil's Field to the west. Okay, so Devil's Field is to the west and Dragon's Castle is to the east. So I guess the east is more explored because there's just one evil location with a dragon there where you should never go. Meanwhile, the west is like entirely a devil's field, and you should never go there, and you will die. Yeah, the west side of the highway is forbidden, to the point where no maps of that part of the world exist, which is a lot, which really says a lot. Tower I've set as my goal is beyond that field though. We're not getting to the tower in the anime, that much is for certain. Perhaps it's some endgame quest in the game, I'm not sure. The biggest ruin from Clinked Kingdom is in the area. Yeah, that's the flower. Ryza notices it, I'm glad. And there's the dragon. Wyvern really, but like I'm not gonna be super anal about it. Anime and manga call whatever a dragon. It can have 4 legs and wings, it can have 2 legs and wings, whatever. I'm not gonna bother calling it a wyvern, even though it is more of a wyvern because it has wings for front legs, but again, whatever. They call it a dragon, it's a dragon. They've been knocked out, essentially in a coma. We have to help them. Lambar, sure, he would make a good footrest at your hideout. He's not really useful for much more. The guard, yeah, sure, he brings some value to the town, absolutely. Boss, he would probably be more useful as dragon feed. At least he would, at least he would have the satisfaction of like feeding wild animals. But of course, Ryza and the team are way too good to leave anybody behind. Unbeatable bombs. Not quite unbeatable, I'm afraid. See the chin on Ryza right now? And I don't think it's an in-between. It's not an in-between. It's like a full frontal, well, not full frontal face shot, but right? It's not an in-between in the middle of the animation. Ryza just suddenly grew a massive chin. Also, another thing I noticed, particularly in this scene, some of the animation here kind of looks like the old fucking Star Trek cartoon where a character lip flaps, then turns head in like 3 frames, lip flaps in the other position, and that's the extent of their animation. Right? Lent is lip flapping, 4 frames essentially, and then more lip flapping, and everything else is still. Tao at least shrugs. Here comes the bomb. And apparently breaking the tablet lifts whatever spell was put on that dragon. Question, is that dragon a continued threat now? Because if it was just drawn here from its cave in the mountains, it probably went back to the cave in the mountains, and it's no longer a threat. If it was summoned with like a magic circle created out of nothing and made to guard the area, and then now it was released in the wild, now we have a problem. So I wonder which is it. The 3 of them aren't waking up. They didn't look too badly injured, they should be fine. Brain damage. No, like, legit. Brain damage. They might look fine on the outside, but their brains are fucking scrambled. It's a myth that you see a person, a character in a movie or wherever get hit in the head, then they fall on the ground unconscious, they wake up, massage their head a little bit, stand up, grab a gun, and go back to fighting. It's a myth. If damage to your head, if a strike to your head is strong enough to knock you out, you will stay out for an extended period of time, and your life will be in danger if you don't receive proper medical attention. And when you wake up, you're not going to be all spry and ready to fight. You will deal with the worst headache of your life, and you will be bedridden for a week. That's how serious head injuries are. So the fact that our villainous trio, not really, villainous duo, not really, Boss and his goons were knocked out for this long, they're not gonna be walking anywhere for the next week. They really aren't. You must really be worried, of course. Maybe you guys don't hate each other, maybe you used to be closer. Yeah, apparently we learned that they were actually closer. What happened though? That's a question. What the fuck happened? Just some bruises and light burns? Again, that doesn't make you lose consciousness. Dragon. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up, but at least we have a new friend. And unrest in the city. That's the worst part of it all. Not that the dragon exists, not that one of the guards was, I guess, that one of the guards was put out of commission because of that is also bad, but the fact that the dragon appeared. Now people start speculating. How did it happen? Why did it happen? What's gonna happen now? Should we abandon the island? Should we start stockpiling food? What should we do? Some people panic. Some people try to exploit that panic. You get a lot of unrest in a very short span of time, and suddenly store shelves are devoid of toilet paper because everybody started stockpiling it, despite the production being entirely local. And yeah, we hear about the results of that. Some people are hikikomoring themselves. Some people are buying a lot of emergency food. And it's not good for anybody involved. It might stop merchants from visiting this island, absolutely. And what do you do when you don't have a trade? Right? What items that you use daily actually came from the import from the outside? Are you going to be able to live without them? Those are all very good questions. Would that stop goods from coming into the village? Yeah, probably. Emergency food, yeah. And of course, this motherfucker who's been hanging around giving everybody stinky eye for the longest time, and now he has something to scream about. Oh yes, it's the visitors who brought the calamity of a dragon, accepting outsiders. I can't take him seriously. I know that I should, because it's like an actual issue in this world. Like, in this town at least, the isolationism has been embedded in them for this long. But it's a really ridiculous notion. Thankfully, the villagers have none of that. Yeah, it would be uncomfortable to live without goods from the outside. Sure, okay, this old man is screaming about divine retribution and whatnot, but man, having my newest iPod is kind of fun. If I wasn't able to buy it from overseas, man, that would suck. Right? That's what wins. Legit. Convenience and price. That's what always wins, no matter what else. Meat alternatives. For example, from our world, alternative meat will not win with meat if it keeps being twice the price. It just will not. And that's a fact. And it's the same here. It's the same here. If it's not convenient to get something, people won't be getting that something. Wait, where was I going with it? I don't know anymore. Oh, right. That getting convenient things from outside is good, so we can't shut ourselves off. That wins the convenience of convenient, cool, fun, innovative, tasty, whatever items from the outside wins over the duty, the tradition of isolationism. That was my point. Sorry, again, it's late. I don't think no good no more. This is an amazing scene. You should thank Ryza and the others. They brought you back in one piece. What? Ah, fuck! Ryza did it. God fucking damn it! She should have left me to die. Now I have to be grateful to her. God fucking damn it! Did you really have to save my life, Ryza? Jesus Christ! Now I have to. Thank you. Like, how much hate for Ryza do you have, boss? For your first thoughts to not be thank fuck I'm alive, but rather why the fuck did it have to be Ryza? Honestly, Boss is the kind of character who like stubs his toe at night in his own room and then screams, "Ah, fuck you, Ryza!" Like, oh, boss. If the dragon came to this village, would I be able to fight it? I'm glad that we referenced the dullness of Lent's blade. We should fix it up. So I can't use it anymore. Exactly. You need something new, something better. Perhaps you could ask Ryza to alchemize something for you, you found some green ore kind of thing on your excursion. Maybe that could be used for a nice green sword. I don't know, just throwing some ideas out there. Stronger bomb, smoky charcoal, magma powder, red supplement. Sure, why not? At least it wouldn't be a waste of time. Yeah, exactly. Whatever amount of preparation is never a waste of time. Are you sure you want to fight the dragon? No, I'm not trying to, but if it attacks the village, I want to be ready just in case. That's a reasonable and good thinking. I like it. It shows a lot of growth to Ryza. She's no longer her hot-headed old self who would be jumping at the first occasion, at the first chance to get hurt, but rather, no, I know that I'm no match for that dragon. I'm not going to fight it, but on the off chance it comes to us, I'd rather not be unprepared. Perfect. I like it. I really do like Ryza's growth in that regard. Strange stone, resting branch of the winged. Summoning device. Apparently this weird monster can activate it somehow, despite it being bound to like a wizard. Is that a monster an equivalent of a wizard? Oh. And of course we need to get rid of the monster first. Perhaps, possibly, that's our only lead. I like how much everybody's working in the dark. Even Empel, even Lila, they don't have all the answers. I like it. Is it really alright for us to just wait? It is. Now, she probably won't, because it's Ryza, because it's an anime protagonist, but it is. It genuinely is alright for you to wait. But you won't be able to because you will have to hunt down the hunting party and save them, presumably. Okay. All right. That was episode 9 of Atelier Ryza, and it was fun. It was good. A lot of things happened that I really, really liked. Now, one thing I didn't like is, I think, a drop in quality when it comes to animation and art. But perhaps the other episodes weren't much better. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe the animation quality really did drop. Whatever, that doesn't matter all that much. But I liked pretty much everything else. I really like how Boss is so haughty and high and mighty to his own detriment. Right? If there was a fencing competition between Boss and Ryza, Boss would just throw away his sword and say, "I don't need it. I can just stand in place and withstand your attacks," only for Ryza to promptly behead him. Right? Like, Boss is really this kind of a character. He's so incredibly, like, overblown. All of those traits just cranked up to 11, and I'm in for it, honestly. On one hand, I am, because I want to see Boss suffer. On the other, I'm not, because he pisses me off. But that's how you know he's a good character. Or rather, a well-written character. He's supposed to be hateable, and they made it. They managed it 100%. I like how this episode shows the growth of everybody, not just in combat, although that too is important, but also growth as people, mostly for Ryza. She finally works like an alchemist. Preparation, thinking what she can do, thinking her plans through, working with what she has. If she doesn't have something, making it, right? Right? I really like it. She's no longer like an action hero jumping into action, trying to kill monsters and whatnot. That's cool. That's cool. What else is there? I like the mystery. I like this world hiding underneath what we see. I like all those ruins, all those hints at a past world that worked vastly differently from the current one, or at least so it would seem. Uh, Possibly there are even multiple layers of those ruins. Um, the travel huts with the safe flower near them are like the civilization that predates the current one directly, and all those ruins, the crumbling castles and caverns and whatnot, are the civilization from even before then. Maybe I'm just, kind of shooting in the blind here, but it would be cool to create multiple layers of destroyed civilizations. Not gonna lie, I would be very much down for that concept. Uh, I also really like, as I said at the end, I really like that Empel and Lila don't have all the answers. They can assume what the writing was about. They can assume how it possibly, potentially might have worked. We don't have a situation where Empel is like, oh yeah, it was that inscription, well, that was a site for ancient dragon riders to take a rest, as they were going to the front lines of the war started by King Xacernas the Eighth, and giving them the whole fucking, historical context for that. He's a researcher. There are things he doesn't know, but he wants to know them, and he strives to know them, and I really like it. I really like how, when it comes to this ancient world, when it comes to the past of this world, everybody to a smaller or greater degree is stumbling in the dark. Our heroes, Empel, the villagers, everybody. I really like it. It really increases the amount of mystery. Very often the mystery kind of fails by someone just knowing the answer and just giving that answer to us, and it's a very anticlimactic way to solve a mystery. This show is not going to be like that. I can already tell, and I like it. I really do. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to say. Oh yeah, glad Claudia is with us. Now, sure, we have a temporary ban on adventuring, but after that ban is lifted, I'm glad that Claudia will be able to join us. And I'm stumbling over my own words right now, so it really is time to end it and for me to just go to sleep. So, tell me, guys, in the comments down below, how did you like this episode? My reaction, my theory, stuff like that. No spoilers from the game. Please, spoilers, go to the Discord here and in the description below. If it's not a spoiler, if it's just a clarification how things work in the anime, stuff like how things work in the game, stuff like that, I leave it at your own discretion. But do err on the side of caution when commenting, for sure. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Ryza Atelier but also Helk, Zom 100, Nanatsu no Makengashi High Suru, Undead Girl Murder, Farce, Ancient Magus Bride, and Madoka Magica Gaiden Magia Record. And I also stream sometimes, so click the bell icon to be notified of when I go live. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the list of my wonderful patrons: QB Without the Net, Fruit, Yangeju, Deuteris Curium, MZ, Rainer, Acclamancer, Marsh, Fassel, Dr. Watt, Yuki Ally, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without the need to defeat a dragon.